Hi friends, welcome back to Librophiliac Knits. I am your host Kat, coming to you once again from sunny St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm trying a new perspective today. Let me know in the comments how you like it. What are we doing today? What did I come to talk to you about this afternoon? Well, not much actually. I came to just do a little check-in, show you what I've been working on, how things are going lately. And I'm very excited to show you one of the things that I'm working on. And then just to see you a little bit more often. Maybe not for such a lengthy period of time. Our video last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was, it was a little excessive. In other great news, I have not purchased any yarn this week. The addiction continues. No. All right, so what's going on? We could start with, what am I wearing? It's so loose and comfy. It is a dress I crocheted many moons ago, you may remember. What's it called? I know that the designer's name is Tinderbox Courtney A. Clark, and I have totally forgotten the name of the actual pattern. I always link descriptions, and I usually put a web address for my particular Ravelry project pages. But I was recently reminded that Ravelry is still not super user-friendly for everybody. They have gone a long way towards fixing it for most people, but I will try to be a little bit better about linking the non-Ravelry options, or both, so that if you are one of the people that does have problems looking at Ravelry, that I will not just only give you options to go look at that, because that's super unfair. So anyway, I crocheted this dress out of a cotton silk blend that I bought from, it was Valley Yarns, from Webs or yarn.com, somewhere that I had never purchased stuff from before. I like the yarn. I didn't feel like buying it from the internet was too that I was way off base with, in terms of like what the purchase was versus what I was expecting. Yeah, I have I overdid. I'm actually wearing the dress backwards, which I have to do because I made the neckline so low that I would be showing you my navel right now if I put it in the front. It's not really the vibe I'm going for. A low backed dress does feel kind of fun and fashionable, and the big kicker was it has pockets. So I don't wear this dress all the time because it was like a DK weight, so it's kind of thick. And summertime plus dresses, yes, summertime plus cotton silk blend dresses made out of DK weight yarn, not as often. So it has its time and place, but I do enjoy how it fits, and the yarn is very soft, and that is more than I would usually say about things that I have previously reviewed. Works in progress wise, I have been pretty monogamous because I am on a mission to complete my Traveler hoodie, and I want to do it before home teams really get going, and I'm running out of time. You may remember that this is my Wednesday Warnings themed, hand spun, hand knit, roller derby inspired Traveler hooded sweater. And the idea is that This is something that I'll be able to wear to and from practice, or when I'm leading practice as one of our team captains this year. I just thought it would be super fun. You know, of course we have merch that has everything pre-printed, but this is just like, think of this as like a sign of my affection. If I'm knitting something about it, I'm feeling strongly about it. And also, yeah, the yarn was so much fun to make. I'm still on ball number 2. I had to fully rip back this sleeve. I had gotten to a point, probably about here, and tried it on and realized that it was like a weird bell sleeve. It was like significantly bigger than it needed to be. And then I counted my stitches and looked at how many times I had already decreased, and then went back and looked at the pattern and realized that I didn't count, and I had picked up like 10 or 20 more stitches than I needed. So of course it looked ridiculous. So this is my PSA to remind you that frogging is good. Do it. There's always more knitting to do, but knitting something, well, I mean, it depends, right? If you're a process knitter and not a product knitter, then maybe it doesn't matter to you. You can knit the wonky thing that it's not going to fit you, and you're not going to like how it fits because you have gone through the process of doing the knitting. But if you're a process knitter, then you should like frogging anyway, because you could just, oh gosh, what's her name? I watched an interview once with Rachel from Spin Cycle Yarns, and she started knitting while she was living in a redwood tree as a protester, trying to keep it from getting cut down, and she just had needles and one ball of yarn. And so she would knit things and then rip it out, and then knit something and then rip it out, and then knit something else and rip it out, because she couldn't leave and she couldn't get any more yarn. And so if you were a process knitter, then really you should just very happily live on one ball of yarn forever because you could just tear it out because you don't want the product. What difference does it make? I'm not one of those. I am a process knitter in that I love to be knitting. Like I need the continual stimulation of the process, but I'm also a product knitter. I am planning to wear this, so it better fit the way that I want it to. So I ripped the sleeve back, and then ta-da, made a whole sleeve. And then ta-da, actually counted this time and made a second sleeve. Here, we can do a little try on. Oh yes, okay. I keep forgetting. I really got this sleeve in the right spot this time. I'm very happy with it. This ball of yarn that I'm currently working from was the one that Grist tells me is all wrong. It's supposed to be knit in a sport weight yarn. And the first ball that I started with, which is going to be like the lowest bit of the sweater, that was sport for sure. This bad boy has a lot of inconsistencies, and it's been kind of fun because some of this, I don't know, can you see how thin this is? Some of this yarn is like lace weight, but on US 4s, that's gonna, it's warm, and my my spinning default is a fairly woolen spun yarn, so this is gonna be kind of hot for somebody who's trying to wear it while sweaty. So having more air in between, you know, like using lace weight yarn on a size 4 needle is going to give me some breeze so that maybe it's not too hot for me to wear. But look, already I'm at an elbow. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have this much left, and then I am planning to make a hood per the pattern, and I'm also planning to give it a pocket so that I actually want to wear it because it's a hoodie. Sweatshirts require pockets. All clothing should have pockets. But sorry, I'll get off my soapbox about that. Maybe not tank tops. I love it so much. Do I have any notes about the pattern? Meh, not really. I mean, it's well written. It's easy to follow. The usual. I am a shameless Andrea Mowry stan. I like her aesthetic. I like the things she has borrowed from Barbara Walker's books. I like the silhouette of this particular sweatshirt. I think it's going to be cute and cozy in all the ways that I want. And she, you know, I think my only issue with the pattern is something that has absolutely nothing to do with the pattern. It would have nothing to do with any of the patterns. It has only to do with the app that I use to use my patterns, which is Knit Companion. And I really love that app and I recommend it to people all the time. I only use the free version of it. You can pay extra and I don't know, have more features that I don't feel like I need. But it's like a monthly subscription. If it were a one-time fee, I would pay it. Like, here's $10, no problem. But when you want like $3 a month for the rest of the life of my knitting career, I don't need whatever feature that is. Sorry, that's not the direction I want to spend my money in. So my issue with Knit Companion is that it does not let me, it's a PDF reader, so it does not let me click links. And Andrea Mowry often links lots of tutorials, and there's no way, you can't copy paste, you can't click the link unless I go open it somewhere else, which I never want to do. I just don't ever have the bandwidth. It's like I'm looking at this thing and I need to know how to do something, and there's a tutorial for it, and I can look at page 2 or 3 or whatever it is and be like, there it is, the thing with the direct YouTube. I can't click it. And then I have to go Google, like, Andrea Mowry, something bind off, or, you know, whatever. But happily, that usually will just pull it right up, no problem, and then I can move on with my life. But that is my one snafu in all of my knitting journeys, is that I love to use that app, but I wish that I could either copy paste or click links. And I don't think that purchasing the extra feature would allow those to happen. That's not the thing they're changing. So yeah, you're not getting my money for that one. Sorry. Sorry. In other news, I have some finished object. Oh, no, I lied. One more work in progress. It's over here. Here, I have to loosen it up. Okay, so you may remember such new toys as the rigid header loom. I have no idea who made it. It doesn't have a maker's mark. But you may also remember that it came pre-warped with 2 shuttles full of yarn. I was fairly sure it was Malabrigo Rios, but when I ran out and I started hunting around on the internet, I cannot find anything that looks like it matches these yarns. But that might just mean that they're so old that the company's no longer dyeing those colorways, or it could mean that it was never really Malabrigo Rios. It doesn't matter. I have been enjoying figuring out how to weave. All right, ready? I am almost done. Boy, I got this far. It was going so great. I loved it so much. And then, dun, 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 I ran out of white. And because I'm not 100% sure of the makeup of this yarn, I'm assuming that it's Malabrigo Rios, which would make it superwash merino. I found one yarn that I thought would sort of match it. It was cotton, like 100% cotton. And I didn't feel right about mixing those two. So I went and found, see, look, I just went for it with the green. I was like, maybe that'll get me to the end of my warp. But there was still some more space. So I went digging in the old stash, and I found one little like remnant of Malabrigo Rios from other projects. And so now suddenly there's a rainbow at the end. And I know that I could have just continued the striping pattern and switched so that the rainbow took over where the white splotches were, but I kind of like that it's gone a different direction. And I don't know if I'll end up using this as like a table runner or a scarf. If it's a scarf, I think it would be really fun to like wrap it around, and then there's just one corner of it that's like totally different, and that would create some visual interest. And also, this is a really good representation of my brain because we start with this wonderful plan, and we're so consistent, and we do such a good job staying consistent, and then something goes sideways or we get bored, and then it just turns into anything. My technique still needs some work. You probably can't tell because I'm just waving it around, but there is the weaving has gotten tilted somehow. I'm not sure what I did, but like I don't know if I just when I beat it into position, if I'm stronger on my left arm or what, but like the left side is shorter than the right. And I've tried to compensate for it by like only weaving in ends on the left to try and like make it so that they're back to an even height again. But I don't know, something's off. I don't know what I did. I'm too much of a novice at this point to really have any idea. But that's okay. I'm just going to wind it back up. I thought about trying to finish it before I talked to you guys, but you know, I figured that what would happen is that I would not have enough time to do both. So I came to talk to you first. You're welcome. Yeah. So those are my two works in progress that actually look like a thing. The other work in progress that I have, you may remember this yarn from last time. I've started, it's a bit bigger than it needs to be really, but whatever, a gauge swatch. I'm going to be excessive in my gauge swatching so that this sweater turns out exactly the way I want it to. This is going to be a birthday / Christmas present from my sister. And I need it soon. It will get going soon. It's actually her birthday in like a couple of days. We're here at the end of September. And her birthday is the end of September. And I very badly want it, you know. This is one of those things, I don't. Do you have this problem with your knitting planning that you get really excited about the idea of making gifts for people, but then the actual implementation is so tough? Like, I have purchased probably a dozen toy patterns with the intention of making it for nieces and nephews, and I've made like 4 toys total in my career as a knitter. And at least 2 of those are Chase toys, you know. And I was like really excited about it, and like bought all this stuff, and then I just never did the thing. I did the same thing with buying yarn to knit a hat for a friend of mine who moved away. And, you know, the longer it's been since I've seen her, the less motivated I am to make her this hat, which is super unfair. She'd get a kick out of it, you know, and it would remind her that I miss her and I love her. So, I don't know. Yeah, so finished product, finished things I have finished lately. I don't know why that one was hard to say. I have done some spinning. These plies were sitting around. This is some of my hand washed, hand processed. Look, I let it have just a couple little stripes of gray. See over here? I think this one was the Merino Katahdin cross sheep that I got from Ouija's friend's farm. I got sick of trying to do an Andean ply at the end, and I gave up, and I just chain plied this bit. But look, it was getting so skinny, it basically is going to be the same width as the rest of the yarn, so it kind of worked out. And then this is my CVM. My original fleece. Still just coming in drips and drabs. I have to get it off the bobbins. Skein it up, wash it, thwack it. Finish. Finish him. Yeah. And then I had a question for you. Do you like to make random nothings like this? I just wanted to crochet nothing. Like literally nothing. So it's a washcloth as far as I'm concerned. That's what my plan is for it. I have to weave in some ends. But then it's just going to go into the bathroom, into the pile of washcloths. It can be used for such. We have a shortage of washcloths, and I like to use them to wash my kiddo's face because he gets so messy. His dad likes to steal the flushable wipes, which, I don't know, weirds me out. And then I got a present. Oh, no, actually, that's not true. I got 2 presents, but this is my fiber crafty related present. Wax found this at the thrift store, and I looked it up. Apparently, this is from Temu. It was originally. And I have found a YouTube video explaining to me how to use it. It has 22 teeth. Hopefully, it would be just right for making baby hats. Because if I can use it for that, I can use so much of my acrylic yarn to make baby hats for work. And that would be so awesome to just be like, look, I made this for you. Or, you know, someone who works here made these and you get one, is, you know, what other people who work there could say. The other thing that I got was, the other thing that I got was books in the mail. Books sent to me by a friend. One of the great things about the internet is that you can make friends. And one of my friends works at a bookstore, and I was shamelessly attempting to get advanced reader copies of Allie Hazelwood books, which unfortunately has not been in the cards for me, but that's okay. I pre-order every single thing that she writes. I'm obsessed, but I got some ARCs. I read this one already. They came the day before yesterday. It's really cute. It's just a cute little romance. It's got a little feminist bent, which is totally my bag. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4.25 stars. Yes. It's called Not Bad for a Girl by Anastasia Ryan. And then what else did I get? A Winter in New York by Josie Silver. I might save this one until it's a little closer to winter. I'm not quite ready. There will be enough cold and snow around here. And then previous deliveries from the same friend included To Woo and To Wed, which is the 5th book in a series by Martha Waters. And I had read the first book in the series and I had meant to read the others, just not gotten around to it. And then this one showed up, and I actually was just finishing it the day that new books came in the mail. And one of my personal goals for this month was to read at least 3 of the books that I own in my home, because I have a tendency to rent infinite numbers of library books and never read the stuff that I purchased. Do you see this bookshelf? Starting from this, the second from the bottom shelf. Let me double check. All the way to the top. Oops. From the second to the bottom shelf, all the way to the top, is all books I have not read. The bottom shelf has books I've read. That's it. That happens to me a lot. I had put this one on the second to bottom because I haven't decided where it's going to live yet, and there was some space. Put both of them there. But, you know, it's like one of those bucket list guys. My mission before I die is to actually read most of the books that I own or let them go. Catch and release, friends. I own a little free library that is not yet installed somewhere that people could actually use it. So that's part of the mission, is like, if I read this stuff, I can put it in the little free library and share it with the world. And I have, like, my favorite dog walking method is to just go to all the neighborhood free libraries and check them out. And the more of them that exist in my neighborhood, the happier I am. And I shamelessly take them and almost never bring them back. Yeah. So, you know, things I'm hoping to do maybe this year would be finally install my little free library so that I can share good books with the universe and be motivated to read the stuff that I own so that I can give it away. I think that would be great. But really, that's all I've got. I don't have like a theme for this week. I didn't, or month, I don't know. I didn't have anything in particular to talk about. I just wanted to check in, say hi. I think next time I'm going to try and pick a topic instead of just being like, look, I made a thing. Because when I get all philosophical at the end of my videos, that is the part that I really, for me, feels like it has value. Like, that's the stuff that I want to put out into the world. Yeah, look, I make stuff and it's pretty. Is like, it's a fun part of this whole dynamic of what we're doing here, this hangout virtual. And, you know, like Mars likes to say, Mars of Hey Brownberry, she thinks of her YouTube videos as like a personal journal, like a way to track and celebrate what she has been making, which I love. But for me, I track and celebrate on my own, like, what do I read and what do I make and all that kind of stuff. And it's fun to share that with the internet, but also to like stop and reflect about the things that surround the art form, or like, you know, what does it mean to be a crafter versus a consumer, and like how do we want to live in the world? You know, that kind of stuff. I love talking about that and thinking about that, and I hope that you also get some value from that. I think that those moments in YouTube videos are more special to me than like sponsored by Skillshare. I'm not. You know, and no offense, that's probably just jealousy. I'm gonna cut that bit. Because like, heck yeah, I'd want to sponsor if somebody offered, but that's not where we're at. Maybe later. Probably not ever. That's okay. But I just, yeah. Part of why I enjoy coming back to talk to you guys is to get into the philosophy bit. And I wish that I was better at like getting right to that meat instead of all the, well, this is a bad metaphor, but all the frosting. Like, nobody wants frosting on their meat, I think. But you know what I mean? There's the surface level stuff of just like, this is pretty. And then there's the deeper meaningful stuff, which I love. Yeah. There, that's my momentary soapbox. I hope that you are making something that you are really enjoying and that you're having a wonderful day. And I hope that you also get to have meaningful conversations and enjoy your life. And now I'm going to sign off. It was lovely to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Do the internet things if you are so inclined. Like, subscribe, comment. Yeah. Bye, friends.